Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Rome series. This is episode 11 of season 1 and it is called The Spoils. Last episode. Couple of things was going down. We saw Lucius start his new job as this political figure in the working class area of Rome. I think it's the same area he's actually from as well, so that's a really good foot in the door for him to convince the people to get on his side. But we saw straight away there was a bit of friction, not everyone was convinced, and then when that one guy spoke up, he was literally yanked away out of the crowd like, you know, a proper totalitarian regime. And Lucius noticed that. He reluctantly took the job to begin with because he doesn't always agree with Caesar. The last thing he'll want to see is political corruption helping him on his way. He wants to do this legitimately, and honestly, I think they should let him. I don't even care if they're used to dealing with people who speak out against him like that. Lucius has it in him to win over the people fairly, and it will only benefit Caesar if he's able to do so. Servilia decided to harbour Magnus's son in her house, leading to all sorts of friction. Brutus was against it. She doesn't give a fuck what he thinks at this point. She was like, I'm keeping him anyway. And then later on, Brutus discovered that she had released a statement pretending it was by Brutus speaking out against the way Rome is currently ran. Now, of course, this last episode was the episode of Caesar's triumph, so it looks at that point like a direct attack on Caesar. And yes, Caesar had his triumph. It was some of the best sets and extras we've seen in this show so far. Just incredible, high-scale stuff. And the main thing he did on his triumph was execute the Gaul king. If I was a citizen in Rome and he did that, I'd be like, that's a fucking bitch move. Why didn't he kill him on the battlefield? I almost feel like it's more of a display of power and control if you were to keep the Gaul king alive. Perhaps make him a general in a legion or something like that. That both shows your people that you're merciful and your enemies that if they lose, there's a chance they might not instantly die. That is far more likely to make your enemies double cross their leaders than like, if you face us, you're all fucking dead. And of course, for me, the thing that stuck out most last episode, poor Titus Pullo fell in love with a slave, freed her, only for her to reveal she's already in love with another guy, they're about to go and get married, and then he caved the guy's head in. That guy also happened to be Lucius's slave, by the way, so now Titus and Lucius have got beef because he killed his slave. And yeah, everything has just went horribly for Titus Pullo. The woman doesn't love him after all, and he's now just sitting there, a guy that's killed her husband, no love anymore, looking at the ring he bought for her. Absolutely tragic, and as I said last episode, also brings into question the sex scene they had the episode before last, because at the time we thought, does she want to do this really anyway? But no, she did not, so that's super fucked up, obviously. I mean, if we were to deeply reach to justify it, you know, different time, ancient Rome, and she's a slave, it's part of her job. But yeah, I can't wait to see how things pan out from the last episode, so without further ado, this is episode 11, season 1, The Spoils. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. By the way, folks, I apologise if I sweat profusely throughout this reaction. I'm not normally a sweaty guy, but it is uncharacteristically boiling in Scotland right now. Add to that, my room is quite stuffy because I got all this shit set up. Add to that the fact I can't run a fan while I'm recording because the audio would pick it up. Add to that the fact that I quit smoking weed and the tobacco I put in my joints simultaneously 2 days ago. So I'm sweating a lot of shit out, and also all the natural heat anyway. Probably chose the worst time to stop smoking. But it's very empowering to do it at times like this, because it was the hardest time to do it. And I'm like, fuck you, you're gonna bend to my will. And that is something I could have never have done 5 years ago. So there's some character progression for you. That sounds like Titus Pullo humming. Why would he be stalking a man? Well, I can already tell this is Titus, but fair play, that was some ninja shit. Fucking knew it. Think I can't tell this dude by the back of the neck zoomed in. Fuck off. Also, Omar Little thought he was such a bad man in The Wire for stalking gangs with a whistle. This guy just stalked this dude to his death. That's terrifying. But they ain't ready for me, the yodeling killer.
You have too much metal on you.
It's not so much.
I'm a magistrate, not king of Asia.
I could see why he'd want his family to reel it in a bit. I mean, he is supposed to be a person of power in this area, but you don't want to come out with some family bawling, talking to the working class with nothing.
Benio, you honor me. What do you want?
I'll go straight at it then.
Not used to such a frank council member.
Thank you, patron. Minerva keep you.
I kind of like Lucius's disposition toward all this so far, you know, because he is still listening to everyone like a traditional counsellor, but he's got that soldierness in him, like, don't fuck around and don't beat around the bush. Tell me what you want and go.
Where's that old Titus Pullo?
I don't know, I haven't seen him.
Gerai, you and Pullo were like castrum pollux.
So Titus hasn't even been in touch with Lucius. I guess, based on that information plus the opening scene, since the murder, he's basically living rough, killing people for money and food, etc. Quite a character shift for Titus, man. I want the happy-go-lucky Titus Pullo back.
Our brothers need more than just money if they're to lead honourable and peaceful lives.
Does he want land for the soldiers? That's not a bad idea. Gives them something to fall back on after they've served.
Speak directly.
We want land in Italy.
I thought that's what it was going to be. It's really not a bad idea.
Caesar gave you land in Italy.
I'm a magistrate, and he must have an income, but I'm one man, not legions.
Wow, straight away this guy's showing his spite and jealousy toward Lucius. He's trying to help.
Talk it over with your man. Mars and Bologna keep you.
And you.
He's really not a guy you could resent unless you yourself was an asshole. He genuinely wants to help. Oh, he can afford some working girls. That must have been a rich man he stabbed. Are they robbing him after the fact? Oh, man. Well, to be fair, he killed people for that jewellery, so, you know, what goes around comes around, Titus. So he's now taking opium as well, yeah? This is shit. Please don't turn Titus Pullo into some crackhead murderer.
They do 'em savoury here.
Best mouse in the city.
Savoury mouse, gross.
This last job, you run that postcard up and down the Aventine like justice chasing chickens.
Okay, so he wasn't just murdering randoms, he'd already started to work for this prick. Actually, even worse.
People come to me for their mortality work because they know my men are reliable.
That's right. Reliable men.
That guy didn't look very reliable.
Ubo will take you to your man.
Give me some money on spec.
Quick question. This guy who hires all the mercs, is he actually powerful within the upper classes of Rome, or within the Senate itself? Or is he just a guy chancing his luck in the working class area and building a rep for himself? And if he is, what would be the repercussions if Titus just killed him and took all his money, and took over his security firm? What would he be able to do? I'm sure all those mercs would fall in line and work for Titus Pullo. He's a former member of the 13th Legion.
Sway the 10th men, and what the 10th men do will sway other legions.
Make him a personal offer, then.
Well, not to say that's not a savvy move by Caesar, but it's very fucking, you know, this shit's illegal in the modern workplace, the don't ask, don't tell about how much you earn policy. And he's putting Lucius in a position where it's going to have to be don't ask, don't tell with this guy, because this guy's going to have to talk to all his other guys and lie to them about his land. It's sort of like passing the buck as to who gets called a cunt in this situation. So as I said, not done by Caesar, just not the fairest conclusion to come to.
How is it?
Much more comfortable.
On one hand, it's shit for a throne, but on the other hand, if it's comfortable, every other throne ever has looked like it wasn't, so it's got one up on every other throne, regardless of its lack of fanciness.
You look tired. Why don't you lie down?
I wish I could.
I think he's starting to realise that this is a tougher job than actually being a soldier in a legion.
Julius Caesar has been declared dictator for life.
Emperors get sworn in for life, shit. I thought they had a term like modern things, but I guess not.
Erase that.
No, keep that up. That is a perfect pictation of who Brutus is.
King Caesar knows you're his loyal friend.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. No, it's just, do I truly look like that?
I really don't like Brutus. I don't know if it's leftover dislike of this character from Game of Thrones. He wasn't even disliked, he was just sort of pathetic. He's way more dislikable in this show.
You may call a cat a fish. They will not swim.
What if it was a catfish? Ever think about that, Brutus? Go fuck yourself.
It is a chair, what of it?
Chair. The throne!
It's kind of a chair.
The life or death of the Republic is not in my hands.
You are precisely wrong.
If Brutus at this point does decide to snake Caesar in any way, I can't hold it fully against him, because this is the second guy that's given him this speech. Servilia gave him this speech last episode, and now this guy. They are all egging Brutus on to do some dumb shit. And if Brutus was smart, he would straight away go and tell Caesar what that guy was just saying.
How's that Gaulish cunny then? Greasy, I bet.
Don't talk unless I tell you.
If I were you, I would not bring up that woman whatsoever. And what a horrible stereotype that they all have greasy vaginas, really. Man, that was a cold-blooded as stab it as you get right there. You can tell Titus is an ex-soldier. Didn't even blink. I've seen people hammer nails into planks of wood with more emotion than that. Oh, thank fuck he didn't do that. I don't know if I could have ever forgiven the character if he'd have stabbed that woman. Fucking calm down, Titus, mate. I love you. That is such a good effect, like he's trying to run away from the truth and that woman shouting it and just he's envisioning not being able to escape it. That was cleverly done. Small things like that, if you think about it, looking at it on the page as an actor, just shows the writer is being creative and not just writing an A to Z by the book story of history. Little creative ideas like that make shows special.
You think I would betray them now for 5,000 denarii?
7 then.
It might be 20,000.
See, this is fucked. Like, this is proof that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Lucius is such an honourable, noble dude, but now he's in this position. If Caesar tells him to do this shit, he's doing it. And now he's doing it to a soldier who is loyal to his men as Lucius was. This has got to make him feel like a bit of a bitch.
15.
10.
12.
And now he's corrupted this other guy who his whole life has been loyal to his brothers.
I'll be away then, brother.
It's horrible to see political corruption trickle down and pollute people's minds like this because, you know, this shit has never changed. I don't know if whoever's watching this reaction believes they're in a country where their politicians are trustworthy, but man, not me.
I'm telling you, the scribblers are not wrong. Brutus will betray you.
You seem very sure.
That is fucking rich coming from Atia. Has he seen the Atia graffiti by any chance?
Somewhere pleasant to hope.
It's all one.
So they tell me.
She doesn't like Mark Antony talking to her daughter.
I've done my best to sway her, but still she shuns me. Refuses even to speak to me.
I don't like this. This is like a direct result of Caesar saying some power-hungry shit to Mark Antony last episode. If he hooks back up with Atia, things might go really bad with snakery and treachery soon.
Daughter, that creature over there by the door, who is she? The beauty in the vulgar dress?
Do not call Lucius' wife a creature.
How did a grim thing like you win such a flower?
I found her when she was still young and foolish.
Unfortunately for Lucius, if he met her a bit older, his son might actually be his.
I must send you to negotiate all my corruptions.
I would rather not, sir.
Lucius won't want to hear this shit. Compared to this, being a soldier is so simple. Go there, win or die. And me personally, I could deal with that all day over this sort of shit.
I hear rumour among the servants that Titus Pullo is in the dungeons, awaiting trial for murder. Is it true?
Oh, please save him, Augustus.
Popular man, apparently, and a vocal critic of my leadership. People will suspect I ordered his death.
Oh, that's cool. At least Caesar wasn't just keeping him in the dungeons to make a point or nothing. There's a political reason why he actually can't help him.
I would lose support of the plebeians.
Perhaps Varenus and I might be able
Nor
to.
can anyone associated with me help him.
So who is not associated with Caesar and Lucius that can help Titus?
I'm sorry, Varenus. I know he is brother to you, but there is no choice.
There's always a choice. There must be some way to help. And it's nice Niobe's trying her best to fit in, but the more she hangs about with Atia, the more she'll just become a target of Atia's hate and spite. Look, already started with a whispering. I bet she wasn't saying she was a nice lady.
In the morning, bring time and the Jew here.
Nice, Augustus is on the case. He'll find someone. Wow, Mark Antony, you sure can pick 'em, my friend. I mean, you literally had two hot naked chicks in knight's armour fighting in your room, but Atia's the one you want. Wow. Ah, toxic love. There it is. It's a bad spiral for Mark Antony though. Soon they won't even be able to achieve orgasm without both simultaneously screaming "fuck Caesar." You can just tell he's given up on life this episode. It's shit to see, man. He was the heart and soul of this show, really, up until this episode.
On your way, Jew. You don't want the case?
I'd rather suck Pluto's thorny cock.
Bet you wouldn't rather sit on it.
It would go much easier for you if you said who it was that paid you.
Can't help you. Sorry. Gave my word.
Gave your word. Gave your word to the guy who is nowhere to be seen to try and help you get out of jail. Fuck that guy. I guarantee he could have got you out.
Titus Pullo, soldier, 13th Gallic Legion.
You are not executing Titus Pullo. It's not happening. Not happening ever.
I, Miles Nigidius.
What a pompous prick this guy looks like.
A good man stabbed, butchered, hacked to death in daylight.
The problem is, this guy might not be wrong either. We have seen this guy that controls the debt collector mercenaries be cruel to people who seemed like nice guys before. So the guy that Titus murdered could have easily have been a decent dude who got on the wrong side of that other prick.
It's not open to question. We all know he's guilty.
Yeah, it's easy to fire shots when the guy's in a cage. Let's see you say that when he's out of it.
We'll not let any brother be damned by this dirty mob.
Oh shit, all the ex-soldiers are hidden in the crowd.
He is trying to re-establish law and order. That won't work if his soldiers are seen to be killing citizens without consequence.
Lucius isn't wrong, but also, he should be wanting to save his friend too. Fuck politics.
It's for the good of the Republic.
It's a worthy cause then.
Shit, it hasn't taken Lucius long to become full politician.
Refuses to name his paymaster. Caesar! We name no names.
Okay, if I was Caesar, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing insinuating it was me? Obviously he can't be ruthless, but if I was Caesar, I'd at least hold that guy accountable for that comment. Like, do you have evidence? Yes, we're trying to be politically correct, but also we're an evidence-based society. Don't go shitting on my name without proof.
You might achieve great things if you would but try.
In Macedonia, I think not.
I don't get how Brutus gets off having this attitude. Caesar could have executed him the second he saw him again. He's welcomed him back in like a brother, and now he's offering him to lead a whole place.
Had you told me you were to march on Rome, and asked me for my allegiance, I would have given it.
I wonder if that's true.
You demanded it at sword point. I betrayed nothing.
I don't remember Brutus being offered allegiance at sword point. I do remember him instantly siding with Magnus.
Thank you, I am honoured. But I will not go.
Shoot this cunt out of a cannon into a fucking wall. What use are you whatsoever?
Only tyrants need worry about tyrant killers. And you are no tyrant.
This is a tense conversation. I am surprised Brutus had the balls to even talk to Caesar like that, and somewhat surprised Caesar took it sitting down. Almost showed weakness there to Brutus. I would have broke his legs. I wouldn't have killed him, but I'd have broke his legs. I'd have been like, well, I accept your point, you said it very passionately. Crack, crack, now crawl home. Crawl home and think about it.
And same for my friend, Lucius Vorenus and his family. If it's not too much.
I do not believe he is about to die. They can't do that with a character this good. Surely. Okay, if they do, I will be shocked. Not necessarily in a good way. And secondly, this show will definitely not be quite as good with him not around. And for those two reasons, something else has to happen here. There is no way he gets killed. I do not care what he has to fight or what, but he's gonna kill it. Interesting place to stage a sit-down protest, Titus. Are they just gonna throw gladiators at him until he dies? I bet he fucks all these guys up.
That's not how it works. You're supposed to resist.
Not if I don't want to.
Yeah, what can you do? He's just gonna make your kill look like a completely cowardly act.
Hold your sword. Just stand up and hold it, that's all. You don't have to run about or anything.
The defeated gladiator now pleading with him to pick his weapon up.
Piss on the 13th!
Pig spawn, all of them.
Oh, this might make him fight. Don't you dare shit on Titus's legion. Wow, that's one dead straight away. Oh shit! Shield bashed his head off, wow. Yes, Titus was repping his legion with this fight. And again, shows how much of a loyal guy he is. He was not fighting at all, but then they shit talked his legion and he was like, nah mate, I'll die for that. If they continue to throw gladiators at him, eventually he will get beaten and die. So I've got a feeling because he's shouting 13, he's going to like reawaken Lucius's, warrior in him. And Lucius is going to jump in and help him. That would be my dream finish to this scene. Let's see how similar my thought process is to the show. So this will probably be the last group he kills, then they'll send out one final group and he'll be defeated looking, and then Lucius will fucking jump in. Come on, show me this. And they're gonna make it look perilous. Yo, I swear I am fucking exactly right with this prediction. It's just because it's the best way to write this scene. Yeah, this guy's getting shanked off Lucius. Called it. See the fucking chopped limbs in this scene? They look so realistic. Shit. We've had a head, arm and a leg. Loved the effects in this scene. Loved the way this scene was written. Loved the fact Titus Pullo's alive. What the fuck is Caesar going to do to Lucius for doing this? These are my 4 thoughts.
In autumn, they disappear.
Oh, it would be the ideal ending to this episode if this motherfucker gets killed.
If we employ you again, next time, best not use veterans.
What the fuck? This is Lucius Vorenus's political advisor, so that murder was actually kinda in a roundabout way on behalf of Lucius. That is fucked. And also explains why that guy is so powerful as a debt collector guy, because he's in the pocket of the actual Senate people.
I'll speak to Cassius. See what can be done.
Is that his way of saying he will accept Caesar's offer, or if he's going to directly oppose Caesar from now on? Oh, of course they finished it there. Okay, and that was episode 11 of season 1 of Rome, The Spoils, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, The Spoils, what did I think of that? Another absolutely amazing episode. I'll actually be shocked now if there is a shit episode throughout this entire show. Each episode seems to be so well thought out, so well written. You can tell there was a lot of development on this show, and really good ideas thrown about before they even started writing. There's no other way at this point this could be written so well and densely without literally a group of people spitballing a load of genius ideas round the table. And there was really only 3 storylines going on in this episode, besides the small thing with Attia, Mark Antony, and Attia meeting Lucius's wife, etc. But the main 3 stories were, of course, Lucius starting to learn that sometimes soldiering is less stressful than politics. You might not have your life on the line, but you don't have to deal with all that other stressful shit. To be fair, he was handling it quite well, up until the end of the episode, where I'm assuming he basically threw it all out the window. The other storyline was a conflicted Brutus. I cannot side with this character whatsoever. Yes, Caesar is an emperor making empirical decisions, but Brutus is so lucky to still be alive. The fact that all these people are in his ear telling him to do all this shit against Caesar, this is his ultimate moment to establish himself, regain Caesar's trust and say look man, I'm trying so hard to be loyal to you, be your friend. I know you see me as a son, I know you could have killed me but you didn't, but I've got X, Y and Z all in my ear telling me I need to oppose and kill you. But he's not doing that. He's allowing them to give him these speeches in private and then in front of Caesar just basically opposing him. And again, is he fully in the wrong? No, because he saw Caesar as a bit of a traitor to the established rules when Caesar did what he did. At the same time though, it should be family before everything. Family before government. So if you truly see Caesar as a father, and he truly sees you as a son, and you heard your father was marching on Rome, whether or not he asked you nicely to pick up a banner for him, or whether he held a sword to your neck, That's your da. Go fucking march with it, dude, and take the city back. And to sneer at the offer of getting to govern a place just because it's far away and he wants to remain in Rome, I don't know, I'm finding it harder and harder to find redeemable qualities with this guy, but like I said, maybe in the comments, you guys will start saying like, no, BA, you've got it wrong, Brutus is representing the way things should be, and Caesar was fucking around. Maybe I've completely misread this situation, but from where I'm sitting, I see a guy that is incredibly lucky still to be breathing, biting the hand that's feeding him, literally. And yeah, the main story in this episode, fucking poor Titus Pullo. We see just how much the loss of the way he thought things were going to be has affected him. He's now working as a debt collector, stabbing people for that prick, smoking opium and wasting all his money in whorehouses. There are worse ways to deal with depression in ancient Rome, I will say, but of course this comes back to bite him when he stabs that guy. It is witnessed. Before he knows it, he's thrown in a cell with, you know, a trial for the sake of it. They all know he's guilty, so he's essentially condemned to death. This brings Lucius's political confusion right to the forefront though, because when he first sees the trial, he notices there's already soldiers scattered throughout the crowd ready to fight and free him, but because Lucius has been informed this will make it look like it's Caesar's orders, he takes the political stance and tells the legion to leave. That is something I could never have imagined Lucius doing even 2 episodes ago, and to see the politics bleed into an honourable man's brain and stop him from making decisions from the heart anymore, regardless of whether they're right or wrong, is always sad to see. And I'm thankful that he was redeemed by the end of the episode. I don't want to see Lucius continue down this fucking path of slowly becoming a politically manipulated person. I want to see him be pure, honourable, soldierly, and that is exactly what he did at the end. And what a fight scene, by the way. Absolute brutality. First we got an arm off, then we got a shield bash to a head, then we got a fucking leg off. Oh man, it was as brutal as you would imagine gladiatorial fights to be. Of course, this brings uncertainty as to what Caesar's going to do to Lucius for doing this, if Lucius is still going to have his Senate council-y job, or whether that's him fucked and he has to go back to being a legionnaire. No idea, but the most important thing is Titus Pullo's still breathing, and it was his homeboy Lucius who helped him escape. Brilliant end to the episode, and I've said this a few times, but think about it, like, see the short story arcs this show does. Like in the last 2 episodes alone, we've had an arc which literally ended with Titus Pullo unexpectedly bludgeoning a guy's head in when 10 minutes before we thought, oh nice, he's going to marry this slave and free her, and then this episode looked like he was about to get executed, only for the dream team to reunite, slaughter everyone and leave. Brilliant way to end the episode, and it's got me so intrigued as to how this is going to be handled by people like Caesar and shit next week. So yeah, tune in for that, and until then, if you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.